Hello again, friends. Welcome back to the parsonage. I'm Pastor Don from First United Methodist Church of Brazoria, and it's time for today's stay-at-home daily devotional. It was one of the stupidest things I've ever done, period. But sometimes I guess wisdom comes from doing something stupid and surviving. Well, in this case, I guess I'm wiser. In the mid-1980s, I was employed as a paramedic for Fort Bend County, just outside Houston. My ambulance was based at the Missouri City Fire Department Station Number 1. It was a great station with a wonderful group of medics and firefighters, many of whom I'm friends with to this day. Well, then at least, the Missouri City Fire Department was a hybrid volunteer paid professional department. They had full-time career firefighters and a large cadre of volunteers. Well, one evening they were conducting training for the volunteers, and they had a ladder truck parked, deployed in the parking lot with its aerial ladder extended fully at about a 60-degree angle. It was a 100 or maybe a 110-foot ladder, I forget. Anyway, the volunteers were practicing climbing the ladder, and well, I was offered the chance to do so, and I accepted the challenge, and well, it didn't take long to realize my mistake. But I kept climbing, and at about the 80-foot level, feeling the ladder flexing and moving in the wind, my courage ran out, and I was frozen in fear. I couldn't move. Thankfully, I was safely harnessed to the ladder, but I was stuck and terrified. Soon, a fire department lieutenant came up the ladder to meet me and helped me down, reassuringly, one step at a time, until I reached ground and safety. Sometimes, friends, we need someone to lead us step by step, and to this day, I thank God for that very kind officer. Well, St. Paul had an interesting conversation with our Lord that might indicate he too needed some step-by-step guidance and reassurance. It's found in the 21st chapter of the Gospel of John. When they had finished breakfast, it said, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my lambs." A second time he said to him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" And he said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Tend my sheep." He said to him the third time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Scriptures tell us Peter felt hurt because he said to him the third time, "Do you love me?" And he said to him, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep." Well, by now, my friends, you are no doubt wondering what this passage from John could possibly have to do with my misadventure on a ladder truck. The point is subtle, but a vital one. Let me explain. As I have said before, the New Testament was written in Koine, or common Greek. And unlike English, it has 4 different words for love. The 2 that figure prominently in the Bible are agape and phileo. Agape is loving as Christ loved, sacrificially, loving God as God. Phileo means fondness or brotherly love. That's why Philadelphia is called the city of brotherly love. Phileo, love, or fondness, plus adelphoi, brother. Well, here's where the conversation gets interesting. Bear with me, you'll get foreign language credit here. Jesus asked Simon Peter 3 times if he loves him, and he replies that he does, and then each time Jesus tells Peter to feed my sheep or tend my lambs, and well, even Simon Peter gets frustrated with the repetitive questions. Why 3 times? Well, some commentators say it's because Peter denied Jesus 3 times after his arrest, but I think that really misses a powerful point in the text. You see, Jesus doesn't really ask Simon Peter the same question 3 times. This is obvious in the Greek version. Jesus asks Simon, "Do you agapos me?" using agape. Peter says, "Yes, Lord, you know that I philo you, phileo." Peter answers the question about godly love with brotherly love or fondness. So Jesus asks the question again and gets the same reply, philo for agapas. Well, the third time Jesus rephrases his question, do you philias me, using filio? And after seeming to be a bit frustrated, Simon replies with philiais as well. Friends, it seems to me that Simon wasn't quite ready to love Jesus as deeply and sacrificially as Jesus was asking him to or hoping that he would. But he was willing to love Jesus the best he could. And after confirming this, Jesus asks him if he loved him as a brother, and he said he did. You see, Jesus met Simon Peter where he was, not necessarily where Christ wanted him to be, like the father of the prodigal son running to meet and welcome his lost son. Jesus went to meet Simon Peter where he was, there and then. You see, that's how God works. He doesn't wait for us to come to him. He goes out and actively seeks us out. That's called grace, and it powers the faith that saves us. Like the firefighter who climbed that ladder to meet and guide me down, step by step. Ours is an active and seeking God who meets us where we are. He just doesn't intend for us to stay there permanently. In the passage from John, Jesus explicitly tells Peter that someday he will face death in his future ministry. And friends, we too will have to shoulder the cross of discipleship. But we won't do it alone. Christ will be with us step by step. The late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. wrote, "Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. But while we can't see the whole of the staircase, we can see our climbing companion, our Lord Jesus." Quote, "Remember, I am with you always to the end of the age." On that swaying ladder, my friends, I couldn't move. Fear had immobilized me, but a friendly and reassuring voice led me down. Simon Peter wasn't ready to take that giant leap of agape love, but our Lord met him on the step he was on. And Simon Peter would take many more steps as a result. Friends, no matter where you are right now, you're not alone. God is there and is asking to walk with you. And as the Michael W. Smith song encourages us to say, "I will seek you in the morning, and I will learn to walk in your ways, and step by step you'll lead me, and I'll follow you all the days of my life." Friends, we don't need to see all the steps. We just need to see who is walking beside us, step by step. Grace, peace, and good health always, and have a blessed day.